Monday Night Wars podcast.
Hello and welcome.
Oh, wait, you're back. You're back, so you get to do this now.
Don't ever say
Hey, man, I do this shit solo for 2 weeks in a row, so I had to do all that crap.
You know, that's not my fault. That's because Ben betrayed us.
That's true.
Ben, who's a listener of the pod, Joseph had this great idea to have Ben, who is a listener of the pod and a friend of both of us,
Yes.
to do the pod with him. And the interesting thing about Ben is that he's not a big wrestling guy.
Yes.
So it was going to be kind of interesting to get an outsider's perspective. And then he just said, that don't work for me, brother.
Yeah. He said, hey, yo, because he's an outsider.
Yeah, that he is. That's a good point. But anyways, hello and welcome. And it's another edition of the Monday Night Wars. It is October 13th, 1997, and we are live with WCW Nitro at the Ice Palace in Tampa, Florida. Tampa, much known for its ice. With me is Joseph the Body Rojas. Joseph, how are you, sir?
I am great because there's, two of us standing solo.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to do the rest of the song.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm glad to have you back. It's nice to be a team again instead of just me by myself. That it was a painful, lonely experience. I knocked out episodes in like 30 minutes. And you could just and we lost subscribers. People went, "No, we don't want that. We don't want your 30-minute spot fests. We want your hour-long Iron Man matches. That's what we want." They wanted the two of us. They didn't want. We did actually lose some subscribers. Not on Patreon though. Not where it matters. Also,
they just
your
dropped
camera. My God, what is going on with your camera?
I have a poor connection detected, but I look fine on my
Okay, well,
end.
I'm hoping it takes the best of both worlds, like Hannah Montana, and we figure it out. Because, dear God, on my end, you look atrocious.
I look good. I look just really pixelated.
Yes.
Well, I'm doing my segment in the vein of early wrestling video games.
Nice.
Low poly.
I love it. Yeah.
WCW NWO Revenge. Great game. Got it right over here. So that's what we're doing. Yeah, I don't know why it's poor detection. I figured it'll fix itself, and it's not. So we're just gonna do it.
We'll figure it out, man. So if you're seeing this,
just do it.
You have Scott back, but he may be fucking weird looking right now.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. But you know what he is? He's making a difference in that low quality.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it'd go away, but it's not going away. But what also isn't going away is this wrestling podcast, because we've still got like 40 more years of it.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Presumably
so let's get into it.
Until wrestling stops.
Oh God. I never agreed to that. We start. We're coming up on Halloween Havoc, so we're starting to get our storylines. I think we got one more week before Halloween Havoc, but we're getting ready for it here. We're starting to build up on our storylines. We've got some and we've got Hogan, Bischoff, and Savage opening the show, and Macho Man, he's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a neck brace. Because he got diamond cuttered, and they have much to say about this. They're just outraged about the whole thing, aren't they, Joseph?
They are, and I hate this for two reasons. First reason I'll hit you with at the top, and the second reason I'll hit you with at the end. First reason that I hate this is a 2-hour program. God help us.
Love it.
This is Oh man. Well, okay, sorry. Let me rephrase that. A 3-hour program. It's technically like 2 hours and something when you watch it on like Peacock now. But that means it's a 3-hour program, and it's just too much. It's way too much. I'm okay with the 3-hour program format if you know what you're doing, and they don't. So this is too much. Anyways, like you said, Mach, Hogan, Bischoff, they all come out. You mentioned Mach's neck brace. Glad you did. That was what I was going to say. The other interesting note about this is that Hogan doesn't have his title because Piper stole it last week to close the show.
Yep.
Bischoff promotes the next horrible Hogan movie, Assault on Devil's Island. They teased the filming of this quite a few weeks ago or months ago or whatever. Anyways, he tries to encourage. This is crazy what he does here. He tries to encourage the fans to sneak the signs for this film that they are distributing to the crowd. He wants them to sneak them into WWF Raw next week because next week WWF Raw is actually live. They are doing a live show. They're testing this format as they're about ready to go live themselves. So they're doing a live show, and he wants the fans to sneak this into it. He also encourages fans to sneak these signs into things like the World Series this year. Now, I have looked at photos of this World Series, and obviously we have reviewed the next couple episodes of Raw.
What an intrepid journalist. You actually went and looked at the
Yes,
World
I
Series?
did. I wanted to see if you could find it. The World Series this year was between the Cleveland Indians and the Florida Marlins. No longer the Indians, but the Florida Marlins. Also no longer Florida. They're now Miami. These signs are nowhere to be found. In all the photos that I saw, you can't see one in a single one of them. Clearly, fans didn't care. Bischoff says that, also, they aren't at Raw. I didn't see them at all at Raw. So there might be like one or two here or there, but it's not a thing. He keeps saying, don't do this thing, but he's clearly because he wants you to do this thing. And apparently the fans said, okay, we won't because it's not a thing. Anyways.
Good for them.
Yeah,
good for them doing the right thing.
they were making a difference, much like your shirt. Bischoff says that Piper's out of control. He says that Piper couldn't earn the chance to be the best and gain the title like Hogan did. Hogan notoriously held down the far more talented Piper, so we're just going to leave that there. Mach says literally nothing in this promo. I'm serious. He just stands there. That is the other thing that I mentioned that I hate about this. As I was going to close with. This is not fun. It's boring. Gets a D for me.
But he looks great.
He does. Yes.
With the neck brace.
That's why I didn't give it an F, because Mach looks great.
We love a good fake wrestling injury.
Yes.
It's fantastic. And that leads us to our first match, which is a good one. It's Eddie Guerrero versus Psychosis. There's going to be flippy shit galore for 3 minutes and 43 seconds.
Yes.
Tell me.
You're going to hate this because when we're in 3-hour programs, I am not doing play-by-play for matches that don't mean anything. Fun opener. Eddie wins with the frog splash, and that is it. Gets a B. It's very fun, though.
Oh, God. I had to read to the next part as quickly as I could. Eddie pretends like he's going to rip off the mask. That's an important part because he and Ray are going at it, and he really wants to rip off Rey Mysterio's mask. And that brings us to Mike Tenay's moments and Lucha Libre. I can't remember what he calls it, but it's like, this is a segment he's doing. I think this is the second one.
Third. This is the third one.
Third? Okay. Because, I didn't do the last two, so I don't know. I looked it up trying to figure out which one we were on because he was clearly into it. And I was like, how many have we done? But anyways, this one is about, which I actually think is really this was actually really well done because we do the Eddie kind of, I'm going to rip the mask off thing, and it goes right into this, Lucha Libre kind of story. And it's all about mask culture in Lucha Libre and how important it is to the characters and how getting your mask taken from you is such an insult. We get interviews with Ray and all kinds of different people. I liked it, Joseph. What'd you think?
I liked it too. It's really good. These weekly segments have been fun. I think I compared them the first time they did this to like a PBS presentation. Like if you ever remember those old like PBS documentaries, this is very much in line with those. And they're fun. They're really interesting. They're very quick, obviously. I think next week's is about Rey Mysterio himself. and I can't remember. It's been a minute since I took those notes, but I'm sure we'll talk about it. But this is all leading to their Halloween Havoc match, where it's for the Cruiserweight Championship that Eddie holds, and it's also a mask match. So if Ray loses, he has to get rid of his mask. So that's kind of what they're building towards. So it's clever. It's really well done, thrown in at the right time. I enjoy it.
How do I look now?
You look better slightly.
Because my poor detection, my poor connection is no longer detected. So I was like, how do I look? I don't know, because you look better. Because on mine, you were kind of blurry, and I was like, whatever.
This has happened before, I feel like, and I feel like it just takes the best of both. So we should be okay.
That's beautiful. I love it. And really, there's a song, The Best of Both Worlds, isn't there?
There is.
Is it?
Yes.
Who does that?
That's the Hannah Montana theme song. We've circled back around to the exact same joke I made earlier.
No. There's a better song.
Whoa. Better song than the Hannah Montana theme song? How dare you, sir? How dare you?
There's like a Styx or a Journey song or something. I'm going to look this up.
There's Separate Worlds, which is a Journey song.
That's it. That's what I'm talking about.
That ain't the same at all.
Because we are. Hey, we are kind of in separate worlds, but
That's
man,
true.
we're together.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Anyways, Roddy Piper, what's he up to?
What a segue. Mean Gene says that Piper has made a strong statement since he took over as commissioner. Agreed. Piper says he has 2 orders of business today. Eric Bischoff asks, who do you think you are? I'm the boss. He calls what happened to Savage justice. He says he has the title of Hogan's in good hands where Hogan won't get it. He does make an All-State joke during that. His last order of business is last week, he said the Outsiders had to defend their titles this week or they would be stripped of those titles. And he calls the Outsiders crybabies. But he says, he has to be fair, though. And so he has reconsidered because he does think he needs to be fair due to the fact that one of them is allegedly hurt. So he feels like after reconsidering, he was right the first time and they must defend it tonight. Piper is great here. We love him in this role. He is the only actual commissioner thing that's ever made sense so far in WCW. I'm giving him an A. Fantastic.
Yeah, again, he suffers the problem that all WCW commissioners have, and that we will quickly see he has no real power.
Yes.
But he's the most commissioner-like of commissioners we've had so far. Because he's setting matches, and people are kind of following the rules. He's no Sergeant Slaughter. No Sergeant Slaughter.
But who is?
Sergeant Slaughter. Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm loving me some Sergeant Slaughter over on WWF. He's doing it.
Yeah.
They listen to him. He's in charge. It's wild.
Yeah.
What's also wild is we get a recap of the Jeff Jarrett, Deborah versus Mongo situation. And he gone, right?
Well, they're going to talk about that. They're going to talk about that in a second. Yeah. We got a match first, and then they talk about it.
Let's do it then. Let's get to the match, and then we can talk about what's going on here. Because we got the great Steven Regal versus Steve. Yeah, you thought. No, sir. Versus Steve Monko McMichael. We like the guy, but he's not a great wrestler.
Correct.
For 3 minutes and 35 seconds. And I don't feel like this is Bill Goldberg-esque Steven Regal, but I also kind of feel like Steven Regal is a little annoyed to have to be wrestling these people that had no idea what they're doing.
Yes. You're absolutely spot on. My note here is Regal having a job out from Mongo is wild, and he absolutely feels the same way. Mongo wins this with a tombstone, and I will have you know, first, if I give this a D, I will have you know that you missed something very important, and I am shocked and appalled at you. Because while you were gone for 2 weeks, vacationing in New York City and having a wonderful time.
Loved it.
I made sure every single time to write down when the Nitro girls were on TV, or when they were doing Saturday 605. I did not
Mhm.
talk about in detail what was happening in those things, but I did carry that through to this week. And I noticed you missed the Nitro Girls, and I can't believe you.
You know, I didn't have a lot of time this week because someone told me, they said, you know what, bro? I love you so much. I'm going to do this week for you because I'm going to give you some time to breathe. And then my guy comes in like a macho
That's
man
not
elbow
true
drop
at
and says,
all.
something important happens. You need to be here. Join. And so here I am, just doing the best I can, trying to make my way in the world. All right.
Huh? Making your way downtown
And
like you were last 2
mhm,
weeks?
absolutely high stepping. But I tell you, I'm back from vacation. But when you love life, every day is a
That's
vacation.
beautiful, man. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it sure is. Anyways, Mean Gene
Yes.
and Deborah. And
Uh-huh.
where is Jeff Jarrett?
Well, Gene lets us know right at the top that Jeff Jarrett is no longer in WCW. Mongo calls Jarrett a quitter and a snake. He tells Deborah to go home and get in the kitchen. He actually says that. Ew. Just ew. She says that she has a plan, however, for Halloween Havoc, because if you remember Halloween Havoc, it was supposed to be Mongo versus Jeff Jarrett. Now, in backstage, Jeff Jarrett, his contract was up. They offered him a new contract. He said, that don't work for me, brother, and he left. And we will see him on TV very soon, but not here. Anyways, this is horrible, and it gets an F, and they will spend the next few weeks burying Jeff Jarrett verbally because they don't like what happens with him. It gets an F.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of petty.
Mhm.
Kind of petty. After that, we get Yuji Nagata versus Chris Jericho. We gotta say it like that. 4 minutes, 6 seconds. I'm very tolerant and open to other people's cultures. That's why I
Mhm.
take my time with the Japanese wrestlers' names and trying to get them just right. And so I feel like I have to do the same for Chris Jericho. Tell me about
Absolutely.
this match, though.
I will say you missed Saturday 605. Anyways, Sonny Ono says he couldn't teach Ultimo the meaning of respect with his wrestlers from south of the border. Well, you get what you pay for, is what he says. Now he has Nagata, who is the real deal, according to Ono. He signed a deal at Halloween Havoc, Nagata versus Ultimo. Now, this match, by the way, is fine. Would love for Jericho to win, but they're pushing Nagata for Halloween Havoc, so I get it. Nagata wins with the Nagata lock, which is an inverted figure 4. It gets a B for me. It's a very solid match between two very competent wrestlers, and we move towards Halloween Havoc one more week.
Well, there you have it. And before, God, it's wild that you're calling me out, I gotta say, on 605, on all this, after you drop this bombshell on me.
Uh-huh.
I am such a trooper here doing this episode, because you just couldn't handle the pressure of soloing it 3 weeks in a row. Calls me this morning, just panicked. He's crying on the phone. He's like, I need you to do this one. We are losing subscribers. I need the Scott Hoffman effect. And I said, bro, I'm here for you. But I'm not gonna be as with it as as good as I normally am. And you said, don't worry, I won't hold it against you. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Here he is.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's wild.
Needed that
But
SKE.
what is yeah. But what is even more wild is these Raven promos.
Yup.
And this time he's in a child's bedroom with a crib.
I think this is the first one. Yeah.
Is it the first one?
I
Yeah,
think so.
it might be.
I can't
I
remember.
thought he's
They're
done some
all a
other
blur.
brooding one.
There's one like a playground. There's this one. I don't remember which one. Yeah, you're right. I don't
In
know
a
which one's the
tree.
first one. Yeah, there's a treehouse one. These are nuts.
Well, I gotta say though,
Yeah.
the thing I couldn't get over in this promo, because he spends the whole promo talking about just how difficult his upbringing is. Just what an awful life he's led, and that's kind of made him the man he is. And I'm looking at this room going, this is a pretty good room.
Mhm.
Pretty nice. Pretty good room for a baby. Good size. Got a nice looking crib, everything. What is he complaining about, Joseph?
Yeah. Absolutely. I actually agree with this. Every single time they've done one of these, it's like, oh, this seems like you had a pretty pleasant childhood.
Nice suburban
Yeah.
neighborhood. What are you complaining about?
Uh, he's telling us basically that he was a lonely and sad child. That's what he's saying. That's the whole gist of this. Raven then is in the crowd, now with Perry Saturn and some other dude. I didn't look up who the dude was because I just didn't care, because Raven's flock doesn't really matter until it's solidified as Raven's flock. They're not quite there yet. But Perry Saturn is a step in the right direction. And then commentary says Stevie Richards here today, gone tomorrow. Ha 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 ha. So now they've shit on two people that have allegedly left. By the way, Stevie Richards will be back in like 2 weeks. Like, I don't think it's next week, but he's for sure at Halloween Havoc. I know, because I just finished taking notes on it. He's there. So,
We love it.
okay.
I mean, we do love Stevie.
I like Stevie Richards a lot. People are getting real upset at him because he's like speaking his mind on the internet, which is like a bad idea apparently. And
Yeah.
like
Yeah, and
sometimes
no one on this pod does that. No one on this
ever,
pod does
ever,
that.
ever. Yeah. And honestly, my opinion with him is like, I feel the same way about him that I feel like with Jim Cornette, which is like, oh, 50% of what you say I agree with, 50% I don't agree with, and that's fine. That's okay. It's called having an opinion, folks.
Yeah. Well, let's get into our next match, because one of Raven's flock has to be sacrificed. Oh, he's not in Raven's flock.
He's not
yet,
in
I
his
guess,
flock
right? This
yet,
is still
yes.
spoiler alert. We are leading to the point where Scotty Riggs joins Raven's flock by getting absolutely massacred by Bill Goldberg. You know why I said it that way. 2 minutes, 34 seconds. Go ahead.
Piece of shit, Bill Goldberg. Anyways, fucking goddamn, that guy sucks. Not Goldberg, love Goldberg.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. Should have happened sooner. Anyways, Goldberg
my God.
wins with the jackhammer. These are Goldberg matches. They say 4 in a row, so this is now the start of the streak. Not really. They don't really start making it the streak yet, but they at least have acknowledged he hasn't lost yet. So there you go. But it's not quite important. I gave this a B. I like Goldberg matches. Yeah, they're not special. He's a spectacle. That's what it is, and I like it.
Yeah, I think they've now realized that they're doing a thing.
Yes.
I think that's kind of what it is, right? They've realized we're doing a thing here now.
Yeah.
And
they
we
will
love
almost,
it. I mean,
they will almost fuck up that thing in literally 1 week. And they luckily do not.
There we go. There we go. After that, though, we get some Nitro girls, because you were giving me crap about it.
Absolutely.
And I did write it down this time. I saw them this time. And after that, I got to stop yelling so loud, though, because we got another complaint from one of our subscribers about how my Hoovy got blown up. So next time we have a Hoovy match, I'm going to walk like around the corner and yell it. And we'll see if that works. I'm just going to get further and further. I'm not going to stop yelling because the people want it. Yes. But I'm going to start walking further and further away until you can hear it, but it doesn't cut out. We'll just keep doing it.
You're just going to be down the street screaming it. Neighbors staring at you. What the hell?
In the park, just just cops get called. There's a crazy man in the park.
He's making
if I don't come back, that's
but
why.
He's insane.
Yeah, he you crazy people can make differences too.
That's true.
It's not it's not a value judgment. After that, we get the Steiner brothers and we get the Outsiders minus Kevin Nash. We get Syxx and Scott Hall. But before we can do that, we gotta do an NWO survey.
Yeah.
Don't we, Joseph?
We do. Scott Hall takes his survey. It's did you come here to see WCW or did you come here to see the NWO? And regardless of what fans chant, he will always say,
it's great.
At first, he doesn't say another one for the good guys, but he'll always say about the NWO wins basically, and then it'll soon become another one for the good guys. And it's objectively fantastic because it's just delusional, and that's the point. He gets that that's the point. He's not actually being delusional. He gets that that's the point. Other NWO members certainly will become delusional or already are delusional. Scott Hall really isn't. He actually has. He kind of has. what is it when you have your thumb on the pulse or whatever it is? Like he knows.
Yeah.
He knows exactly what's going on at all times. He also then taunts Zbyszko and Lex Luger. Obviously, at Halloween Havoc, it will be Scott Hall versus Lex Luger with special guest referee Larry Zbyszko. Then the Steiners come out and they almost win when Scott Hall pulls out and beats up referee Charles Robinson, who is my favorite referee ever. Love referee Charles Robinson. You'll always know him because of the hair. His nickname is Little Nate. He's always had that same hair. It's fantastic. He's still reffing. He's like 60 something. And he looks great for his age. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I hope he's a good dude because I put him on a pedestal. I think he's a great ref. Zbyszko then confronts Hall when this happens and then counts three on Hall when Rick hits the diving bulldog. And we have new WCW Tag Team Champions.
Yes.
Now, we'll see how legitimate this is, but we finally have WCW momentum. This gets a B for me. It's actually very, very entertaining. And we will get an answer on this. So they don't forget the fact that Zbyszko is technically not a ref, or so we think.
Well, yeah, because we come back from the break and Tony tells us this is legit.
Mm-hmm.
Larry's a licensed official. It's all good. Nothing will happen. The titles will not switch places.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tony. I feel very assured in this. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to know it. So there you go. After that, we get some Nitro girls because they dance a bit. Come at me, bro. Come at me. There's Nitro girls. And we get Dean Malenko versus Rey Mysterio, which is secondary to the Nitro girls. 4 minutes, 51 seconds.
We start with the handshake, then we get a decent match. Mysterio hits his Rana, but Eddie slides in and rips his mask clear off. Malenko doesn't see this and locks in the cloverleaf for the win. It's a very, very creative way to create a loss for Mysterio, get some excellent heat for Eddie. I really enjoyed it. It gets a B for me.
After that, we get a little DDP montage over at the power plant. You know, he's saying that he's the real deal. He hasn't become a bad person like the rest of these guys. And I believe him.
Yeah.
What do you think? What'd you think?
I got nothing on this. He just talks about success the whole time. It is what it is. Most of the WCW vignettes I'm not super into. They're just kind of like, okay, whatever.
Did you see, though? Did you see on the tweeter that DDP offered to extend his services to LeBron James?
I did see that. Yeah, that'd be huge. That'd be huge.
Yeah.
LeBron will be like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. And then DDP will be like,
yeah.
And then stretch his ass out like it's Stu Hart's dungeon. Make that dude flexible as hell. And all of a sudden, LeBron will play another 23 years. Dear God, help the Lakers.
Yeah. On the Lakers, bro. Forever. I tell you, you know, we're joking, but that DDP yoga really seems to be legit.
Hell,
yeah.
It is.
He's doing
it is.
Yeah. You know, I've seen, he's been working a lot with Lex Luger, you know, who was, confined to a wheelchair. And Lex is walking, you know, not like perfect, but
he's walking an immense amount for someone who is fucking paralyzed.
Yes.
That's what matters.
Yes. Yeah. He's doing quite a bit for a guy that was confined to a wheelchair for like 15 years. So, DDP yoga, man, if you guys are looking to get stretched, check that out, you know?
Yeah. And DDP, if you want to be a sponsor of the pod, absolutely do it.
Yeah, we will talk up. We talking up DDP yoga for free. We'll do it for money too.
Yeah.
See, folks, we don't take advertisement. We don't do paid advertisements unless we believe in the product. And that's why we are proud to support DDP yoga. Anyways,
that's why I'm talking about Temptations kitty treats.
So you just want free kitty treats now.
Absolutely.
This is what we're They're expensive.
They just happen to be right
expensive.
next to me.
After that, Roddy Piper.
Yes.
He's got to come talk to us about what really happened with Larry Zbyszko. What happened? I thought that was legit.
Yeah. I'm gonna get out in front of this. I don't like this. It starts off okay, and then it
Okay.
devolves. My first note was, why twice? Why do we need to see Piper twice in the night? I don't
Mhm.
understand that. Well, we get an answer because Gene wants to know if Sabisco counted as a referee. And Piper says for Halloween Havoc, he was sanctioned as a ref a week ago, so the decision stands. And so far, I'm like, okay, this all makes sense. I'm on board. And then Bischoff and Mach interrupt. Bischoff insults Piper and says Hogan wants his title back and that the Outsiders want their tag team titles back and that he won't get away with this. Piper says it looks like he came to play, and then the NWO started the ring. And then Sting comes to the ring, but it's fake Sting. It's actually Hogan, and the NWO beat up Piper. While this was booked in the same week, just so Hogan and Bischoff could get one over after taking an L earlier. I hate this. It gets an F.
That's a fair reason to hate this promo.
Yes.
Because it's just another typical NWO. They can't take a loss, which makes it just so uninteresting.
Yes.
It's like, let them lick their wounds for a little bit. Let them come back. Like, I'm fine if they hit you back with some devious plan, but give it a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You know?
But literally same night. They were like, no, we're not doing it. We're not. No. They gave it a couple minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. After that, we look at, Kurt Hennig and Ric Flair.
Hate it.
The deal. I'm just shocked. I'm shocked. I couldn't believe that Kurt Hennig was a bad guy the whole time, even though it was obvious.
It for so many reasons. For that, and I hate it because, this is a recurring theme that I mentioned the weeks that you were off. I hate it because Flair had brain surgery and was back within a week. Like, that is absolutely the worst freaking booking. If you had him out for months, let him just take a nice vacation, be with his family and stuff. Awesome. Then he comes back. Great. Love it.
Starrcade.
Yeah. This is horrible. Horrible.
Yeah. I feel like he should be out. He had brain surgery. He should be out. The Four Horsemen should be like, I feel like that should kind of be the long-term storyline, right? Like, the NWOs beat Flair. They kind of the last man standing on Team WCW. WCW's in shambles. The Horsemen are in shambles. NWO is kind of riding high on the hog. Where is Sting? We are at our worst point we can possibly be. This is the hero's journey. We're in the middle of the story where our band of heroes are at their worst possible point. And then at Starrcade, boom, we're back. He's back. We get our big Sting Hogan match. We get everything. It'd be hot. And he's back from brain surgery.
Yeah.
In a week.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Speaking of cool, Scott Norton and Ray Traylor.
This
big
is
meeting in. We like it.
That's true, but this is just an NWO win. That's all it is. So all of Ray Traylor's momentum they built up on him is gone. So it gets a D.
Again, right? And this was, I guess I'll say this is 4 minutes and 40 seconds. So he does get some offense in there. But yeah, they made a big deal about him coming back, saying, I'm going to use my real name. I'm not going to let people walk all over me anymore. Treat me like garbage. I'm going to be my own man. I'm coming for the NWO. And now he's dead.
Yeah.
Cool. Nitro Girls. There's we get the ad for the Nitro party. Send in your tapes. You can have the Nitro Girls come to your house, you sick pervert. But also, I have to take a side note here, because this is the point in the program where I realized that I did not see Lee Marshall. And I was concerned that I did not see Lee Marshall. And so I went back this morning when I watched this for the first time because you called me, not the second time I watched it to make sure I didn't miss something.
Yes,
and I noticed, Joseph, I noticed that I could not find a 1-800-COLLECT-ROAD report by Lee Marshall.
Correct.
And you're telling me, Joseph, you are telling me that that's gone?
It's gone. They don't do it anymore.
Why are we doing this?
So you just want to talk about Raw from now on? Just every week we'll just talk about Raw.
Yeah, we're done.
Okay.
We're done. We're boycotting WCW Nitro until Lee Marshall comes back, which he never does. So that saves us a lot of time. Saves us a lot of time.
We're boycotting 1997 WCW Nitro. Call Bischoff.
best
You
part
don't
of
get
this-
Lee Marshall
Yeah.
back.
This is the best part of the boycott because we know the answer and we don't have to do this anymore. Just yeah, I mean, but that's crazy. Why did they get rid of it though? It's crazy.
Because they
It's
realized they
so
could
good.
make money off the Nitro Girls. That's why.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's clear that the Nitro Party sweepstakes kind of has replaced Lee Marshall. That's the new kind of version of the Road Report.
Right.
They also plug the hotline. You call the hotline for details. Like this is they figured out how to make this a money-making venture. So I guess they don't need it anymore. Maybe the 1-800 Collect sponsorship ended and they didn't want to renew. So like, well, we don't need to do that anymore. But it was one of my favorite parts. And the fact that it never comes back and they send Lee Marshall over to Thunder and they don't put Bobby Heenan next to him is one of the great tragedies of our lives.
Yes.
I am mad. And the only thing that can turn this night around is a TV title match against Alex Wright and Disco Inferno, baby. 5 minutes, 46 seconds.
Jacqueline comes down during the match, which results in the sloppiest Disco win. It's just bad. This gets Neff. And it's important to note that Disco, I believe, has already agreed to face Jacqueline at Halloween Havoc, and it is for the WCW TV title. And I need that to be clear. It has been billed multiple times and will continue to be billed as for the WCW TV title. I hated this, and it gets Neff.
I hate this on levels, right? Like,
yes,
Alex Wright, that's one. Like, push this man.
Yes,
you know? Like, we love Alex Wright. Wish they would do like honestly. I am okay with if he has a rivalry with Disco Inferno because they're both dancing, they're both doing all that kind of stuff. Like that rivalry's kind of fine with me, but he's just a vehicle for the Jacqueline Disco Inferno rivalry, and I'm not okay with it because it's dumb and it gets dumber. So, but what is even dumber than that is we have another hour because this is hour number 3.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And 2 things happen in this.
Yeah. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about hour number 3. U.S. title match, DDP, Kurt Hennig, 5 minutes, 25 seconds. Go.
Yes, this is our main event. This is what our main event is. By this point in the show, this is a match that you should be excited for because it's a good match to have on paper. Kurt Hennig, DDP, WCW United States Heavyweight Championship match. That is all. That yes, I agree. Yep, main event. Got it. The problem is you're so exhausted by bad booking by the time you get to this point, you just don't care anymore. And then to make it even worse, Ric Flair comes out but is held back by officials, and DDP rolls up Hennig for the 3 count. Now, while he's getting the 3 count, Flair runs in and chases Hennig back. But Randy Anderson says, even though Flair has made no contact with Hennig, when the 3 count happens, there is no interference of any sort. He says, well, because he was simply in the ring, that's a DQ. So it happened before the 3 count, although it never happened before the 3 count. And so DDP doesn't get the title. Essentially, they were trying to make this a DQ, but they so fucked up the timing of it that DDP clearly wins clean. And this is horrible because we just have this brutal booking. And so referee Randy Anderson is like, no, you're not the champ. You're not the champ. You're not the champ. And then it gets even worse. We cut to commercial, I'm pretty sure, and we come back. And then Piper, and my note here is Piper LOL. Because Piper is now completely fine after getting the shit kicked out of him earlier in the night. Because if you can recover from brain surgery in a week, you can absolutely recover from a beatdown within minutes. And so he comes and he tells Randy Anderson that DDP is, in fact, the champion. And then Hogan attacks again, and the NWO attack both men. Mach hits diving elbow on DDP with his jacked neck, which is actually objectively hilarious. And then multiple stings run to the ring from various entry points, like the end of the Three Amigos. And then one of the fake stings rips off his mask and is the real Sting in a very famous gif. And he hits the Scorpion Death Drop on Bagwell, and the NWO clears house. This is nonsensical, and mercifully, the way too long show is over. I gave this whole thing an F. I thought it was horribly done, just absolutely horribly done. And they just don't know what the fuck they're doing with the NWO or Sting. Like, they clearly have not, like, they don't know what it is. And they think they do. And they will talk about how this is the greatest story of WCW, blah, blah. I don't care. You guys aren't doing a good job with it. You aren't. It's obviously going to be a horrible end. But this is so bad. And literally next week, just for spoilers, they're going to say, oh, no, actually, in fact, DDP isn't champion. So the one thing that Piper came out and did, next week they say, no, that didn't actually happen.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. 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 Well, and the Sting moment is fantastic.
Yes.
But it's lost in the sea of all of this nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
I love that Sting moment. It's one of my favorites. You remember how hyped I was?
Yeah.
I talked about it. Like, I can't wait till he does the mask where he pulls the mask, pulls the Sting mask off and it's Sting. One of my favorite memories. And then it was part of this, and I was like, oh, I don't. Landon Arena, Topeka, Kansas, Raw. Let's move.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just go on. I'm done with that. Doing this podcast has ruined my childhood. Anyways, the Hart Foundation's here, and they want to talk crap about Sean and stuff, don't they?
They do, actually. Is this, let me make sure I have this right, because I might have accidentally. Yes, okay. So we actually start the show technically with an LOD vignette before this happens. And in the vignette, if Legion of Doom doesn't win the tag team titles tonight, they will retire. That's going to be a recurring theme throughout the night. That's all you need to know. So we have the Hart Foundation there in the ring. Vin Man says Bulldog is not here. He's out celebrating a birthday and an anniversary. He assumes that Bret Hart isn't very happy, and would he care to comment? However, before he can say anything, Sean, Hunter, Chyna, Rick Rude interfere on the Titantron. Sean and Hunter are just like sitting down. They got like their feet kicked up. Chyna's, standing just right behind them, looking fucking imposing as hell because it's Chyna and she looks amazing. And then Rick Rude is also kind of imposing, but like not the same way that Chyna is, because Chyna looks like she's gonna rip your arm off and beat you with it. Yes. Rick Rude doesn't look like that. Anyways,
no.
Sean says Bret is getting old and jerking the curtain, which is kind of funny. He knows they will be in Bret's neck of the woods, Canada, but he has some footage of Bret saying nobody knows Canada like he does. The footage is Sean. Oh, sorry. I said that. I read that so weird. He has some footage and he says that nobody knows Canada like he does, as in like Sean does. Then the footage is Sean sticking the Canadian flag up his nose last week, which is hilarious. Now, Triple H has his own footage of him beating Bret Hart. And he says, I'm younger than you. And then Sean interjects, everybody's younger than him. And Triple H says, he's better than Bret. And then Sean interjects, everybody's better than him. And then Triple H says, he's certainly bigger than Bret in more ways than one. Sean is looking at Triple H's crotch and shouts, good God, you can put an eye out with that thing, which I laughed so hard. We then see Hart losing last week, and Brett says, "Why don't you two degenerates come down to the ring now and step into the ring with Brett?"
What?
Huh?
What?
Degenerates? Yeah.
What?
Well, he has called them degenerates a couple times, but and they're going to run with this in just a second. They do their shocked face thing where
What?
they're like, that. And then Sean
Mhm.
says, regularly I would take him up on his challenge, but you know why I'm not gonna? Because the last time I did was at WrestleMania. I beat his ass for that stupid piece of tin he has on his shoulder. He says he will take that tin at Survivor Series. I will say, real quick note, don't like calling the belt tin. Like, respect the goddamn title. I know what Sean's doing, but still respect the goddamn title. Anyways, it's like when the commissioner, Rob Manfred, just called the trophy just a hunk of metal. In baseball, don't do that. You respect it. You respect the title. Anyways, Triple H says, "You want a piece of me?" And then Sean holds him back. And Triple H says, "I'll give you the worst beating of your life." "Oh, wait a second. I did that last week." And then they laugh, which is great. HBK says, "At some point they will cross paths. You call us degenerates. I'm tired of Generation X getting a bad rep." They debate if they are degenerates and come to the consensus that they are, in fact, degenerates. "We are DeGeneration-X. You make the rules and we will break them." Hart says they won't make it to Survivor Series. Then the Nation interrupts as it is going to be Kama versus Owen. I'm going to kind of clean cut these as two different segments. The Nation interrupts, but that's really its own thing. This whole thing was about titling DeGeneration-X, which ironically I'm wearing, or coincidentally, I'm wearing this shirt. I actually wasn't planning this. I was wearing, because I went to my brother's house to watch Crown Jewel with my nephew. And I was like, "Oh, I got a wrestling shirt." And I threw it on. And then I came here. So there you go. Anyways, yeah, so this is the debut. Do the thing, Scott.
Or Degeneration-X!
Yeah, that's what this whole thing is for. It's an A+, all for what DX does. They are fantastic. And commentary will immediately start calling them DX. So they aren't going to say the mouthful of Degeneration-X. They will immediately, in every match going forward, when it's one of these two, they will start talking about DX. It's fantastic. And we slide right into an Owen Hart versus Kama match. But I figured I'd give you the floor in case you want to talk about this segment.
You've said it. We got DX. I'm in.
There you go.
I am in. We have, I feel like we've kind of hit it. I don't know if we're officially Attitude Era yet. We see there was at some point we get a.
Well, the official date, I believe, is the day after the Montreal Screwjob.
Yeah, well, because I was going to say, because you and I just actually watched Survivor Series 1997, and they have a segment where they talk about how rough and tumble wrestling is, and it ends with WWF Attitude. And I'm like, I think that's it.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like we're kind of there. We've got Good Nation, we've got DX, we've got Stone Cold just doing his generational run.
Kane.
Kane. It's got to be Kane.
Yeah.
We got it all, man. I think we're there. I'm calling
it. If only we had like a new version of like an Outlaws. If only we had something like that. That would really, you know what I mean? That would really put us over.
Oh. We'll get there. We will get there. But before we get there, we got, as promised, Owen Hart versus Kama Mustafa for the WWF Intercontinental Championship for 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Tell me.
Sean's music hits and Degeneration-X come out and they steal the headsets from commentary. They make a lot of crass jokes and call Bret Hart Droopy Dog and Mr. Charisma, which I did laugh at. They are eating bananas at ringside, which is, it's a dick joke. That's what they're doing. Sean says Stu Hart is dead. His brain and body just don't know it yet, which I laughed very hard at. The Nation attack Bret and Jim the Anvil, and HBK lays on the floor to watch up close, which is fantastic. This eventually becomes an entertaining DQ. I'm giving this a B. It's pretty quick, but it's a lot. It like DX is all over the place. They are like the show is becoming theirs. It's going to very quickly go back to being Stone Cold's, but they clearly are starting to carve out their section of the show, which is great. Real quickly, we then see Legion of Doom talking about Paul Ellering, who used to be their manager, not currently their manager, and they talk about his importance, and then we go on to our next segment.
Well, yeah, we get a little back and forth here, right? We get the Road Warriors. They're talking about Paul Ellering, as you mentioned. Then we get the Godwins, who are talking about the Road Warriors and how they're going to put them out of commission, put them out of the WWF. Because as you said, that's kind of the recurring theme of tonight. It is our main event about whether or not the Road Warriors are going to be drummed out of the WWF. After that, we get a little promo, a little preview, or I guess not a preview, a moment from Shotgun Saturday Night where we had a little person match with Sonny as the referee, and wow, how the mighty have fallen.
Yes.
How the mighty have fallen. Which that match was Nova versus Tarantula. And I guess that leads us to our next match, because apparently they still got beef. So now we got to have a tag team match of Max Mini and Nova versus Mosaic and Tarantula, because we got storylines within storylines. And man, little people match 225. Again, don't hate these matches. Absolutely know why Vince is doing them.
Yes.
That's why I hate them. Tell me, Joseph.
Yes. Max Mini wins on a roll up. I'm not spending too much time on this. Get to see.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I got to keep scrolling then here. We got our promo for the Survivor Series Super Supper Sweepstakes, because they're going to have. Is this a Survivor Series thing? Is this what they did last time too with the house or the money, or are these just whenever?
No, these are just whenever. This is just a sweepstakes they're doing for Survivor Series this particular time. The house one wasn't In Your House, I'm pretty sure, or it was SummerSlam.
Yeah.
It was SummerSlam.
Well, because they've done $1 million sweepstakes. They've done, I think there was a house one where they could win a house. This one, I guess, because Vince is tight on money, is none of those things. It's you get to go to dinner with a wrestler of your choice. That is the Survivor Series Super Supper Sweepstakes.
The funny thing about that is, real quickly, remember the other two? No one actually won. No one won the $1 million. The one that is the least expensive, for sure, somebody wins. It happens. At Survivor Series.
The first call, too. It's not like where they just have to keep dialing people because no one's answering. They get her on the first call. And I got to say, I respect her because she picks what I would pick.
Yes.
So, yeah. Which I hope they come back to that. I hope we get to see that. I want to see that.
Oh, it'd be great.
Or at least maybe they have a nice real supper, but they can have a nice one, but then they should film a quick promo of an in character one, right? That would be so good.
Yeah.
It would be good. After that, we get some more Shotgun Saturday Night, because that's apparently where the stories are happening. As of late,
they saw WCW and they said, if we want good stories, put them on Saturday night. That's what we're getting.
Yeah. So something happened. On Shotgun Saturday Night. Yeah, Honky Tonk Man cost Rockabilly a match against Flash Funk, and Jesse James somehow comes into the equation here, because he's also got beef with Honky Tonk Man. So now Billy Gunn and Jesse James both have beef with Honky Tonk Man. What could possibly come of this, Joseph?
Yes. Double J, Jesse James, now going by the Road Dog. Remember, he originally was the Roadie. Then he was Double J, Jesse James. Now he's the Road Dog. And he says that Rockabilly isn't a loser. And them together, he smells money. And boy, is he right. Because we will see them in action. I think it's next week. And it is fantastic. Like, immediately, it's not 100% what they will become, but it's so close, like right out the gate. Honky Tonk Man, by the way, assumes Billy will stay with him, but Billy slams the guitar over Honky's head. There's no grade for this because it's not on this program, but I do appreciate them giving us the recap, because this is actually fucking important, and it's really, really good stuff.
Oh, you didn't know? I'm excited. But we got to get to our next match.
Yes.
So we got in a non-title match, the WWF European Champion, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, versus Flash Funk. That's kind of a weird pairing. Shawn's a headliner. Tell me about this one, Joseph.
What?
Yeah.
Who do you have on this?
Shawn Michaels versus Flash Funk.
Let's see.
It doesn't actually happen, if that helps you.
Okay. Yeah, I have this in a completely weird way because that's not actually the match that was scheduled. I don't think. Here's what I have. Okay, then we'll confirm our notes. So basically,
Okay.
Funk comes out. What we do know
Yes.
is Flash Funk for sure comes out. He is for sure in a match. But the next person who comes out
Yes.
is not Shawn Michaels. It's Kane. And Kane comes out
No.
and he choke
Yes.
slams immediately Flash Funk
Yes.
and then tombstones him. They haven't quite figured out
Yes.
that his finisher is in fact the choke slam and not the tombstone, but it's just like tombstone is like finisher 1A kind of thing. They haven't figured that
Mhm.
out, but they will soon because Kane got the best choke slam of all time. He just did.
Mhm. Yes.
Anyways, Bear then threatens Taker and that says that Kane will destroy everyone in the WWF until he meets the Undertaker. And then HBK runs in and he pins Funk, and Triple H counts for HBK's supposed win. So that's the confusing part of this. I don't think this was actually a match. Maybe it was. I don't know. There's no ref except for Triple H. Maybe Triple H was sanctioned at the same time Larry Zbyszko was. We
Could be.
don't know. If
We're in the same
Piper would have
school.
told us, that would make a lot of sense. Rick Rude reads a statement for Shawn's win, and DX celebrates like a bunch of children. And I gave this whole thing an A because we get Kane being Kane. They're going to do something, I think it's next week, where they put Kane over huge. And I love that. And they're going to continue to put Kane over huge. The only thing I don't like is the red light thing. I think they're going to get rid of that, but oh well, that's fine. I get what they're trying to do. The presentation for the most part has been fantastic. They're making him look absolutely like a monster. And then on top of this, we're kind of getting DX just all night, just being a bunch of fucking teenagers. And that's great. That's what we need them to be doing. I love this. I gave it an A.
Yeah, my understanding of this was it was supposed to be a Shawn Michaels versus Flash Funk match, but Kane just came in and killed Flash Funk, and then Shawn just said, "Okay,
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
free win." You know, because I mean that's it. Because that's all they do. They come out, they pin him. You said Rude kind of reads, announces the winner. He does the announcing duties, and then they leave. They do suckets at the top of the ramp, and then they leave. So I think that was supposed to be a match, but Flash Funk got murdered. After that, we get more Road Warrior moments, right? We get Animal talking about SummerSlam 91, where they won the titles. It's beautiful. Don't you think, Joseph?
I do. I kind of like what they're doing. They're honestly doing the Arn Anderson thing, where like they made the whole night about Arn Anderson. They're doing that for LOD. Much different payoff for sure in it. But they're giving you this as like they're explaining to you how important LOD is. LOD is arguably the greatest tag team of all time. The Road Warriors are. They are on the short list of about 4 or 5 tag teams that absolutely deservedly are there. Yeah. This makes sense. They are very important. They're explaining to you that they're very important. But then on top of that, on top of explaining to you that they're very important, they're also using this for a storyline and building towards a main event. I like it. I like what they're doing.
What I like even more than that is that Raw is sponsored by Castrol GTX. Because I mentioned that. Yeah. I'm back, baby.
Yeah,
I am back.
Yeah, you are.
After that, ooh, I got a groove going now. After that, we get another Shotgun Saturday Night show. No, I don't even know what to review, look back, flashback.
Yeah,
I think that's a good word for it. Yeah, because that's apparently where the storylines are happening. Kurgan is back although he's not called Kurgan, he's the interrogator, and apparently the Truth Commission are a thing again. Boy, howdy. Which leads us to our next match, which is DOA, the Disciples of the Apocalypse, specifically 8-Ball and Skull, versus the Truth Commission versus Recon and Sniper, to be specific, with the interrogator, because we haven't seen him in action yet. We'll
Mhm.
save that for
Yeah.
Survivor Series. Wow. And Jackal,
Mhm.
Joseph, tell me about this 3-minute 44-second match.
Yeah, look, this is a bad match and it ends in a DQ. But the important note is the Jackal. The Jackal is the new
Yes.
leader, and he is most notably Don Callis. So if you're watching AEW and you're watching Don Callis and
Mhm.
you go, "Oh, hey, I know who that is. That's who this is. That's the Jackal." Don Callis did not want to be a manager, which me and Scott were joking about last night when I was telling him about it. And it's funny because that's all he ended up being. Basically, was a manager. He wanted to be a wrestler, but he not really. That's not that ain't his bag. And he's still doing that to this day to mixed results. Sometimes really good, sometimes not so good. That's okay. That happens. Anyways, this is not so good. Gets an F.
Yeah, it's not. I like Don Callis. I think he's great as a manager, or at least he certainly has had his moments. It's certainly
Yes,
paid the
I agree.
bills for him for a long time, which is kind of ironic because you want to be a wrestler, but feeding his family led him to be a manager. Yeah, yeah, he's actually we'll get him on the mic at Survivor Series, and I think again he's got good mic work. He's a good manager, I think, just not for this tag team because it makes absolutely no sense. Uh, they used to be a South African thing, and now he's like a cult leader or something. We'll get more into that kind of as the story progresses, but it's like,
Yeah.
but what is this? These guys are like military people, and now it's a cult? I don't understand. But what I do understand is that we get the PlayStation Slam of the Week, and it occurred on Shotgun Saturday Night. Because of course it did. Ahmed Johnson gave some jobber a Pearl River plunge. Awesome. There you go. Slam of the Week on Shotgun Saturday Night.
Uh-huh.
After that though, we get hour number 2, and we get Vince with Stone Cold Steve Austin. And it's time for Stone Cold to either sign the contract or get out of WWF, Joseph. I hope he signs it.
I hope so too. Yeah. So basically, Vin Man has a contract for Austin, and it says that Austin will be reinstated at Survivor Series. He just needs to sign. Now, last week, Austin was told he had to for that week, he had to either have a doctor's note, waive his medically waive himself, so that way they were
Mhm.
not liable for any sort of injury or anything going forward, or they were gonna have to fire him. One of those 3 things. And he came out and was like, "Well, how about this, actually? You need to have pen and paper and a contract that states that if I sign away myself, then I get a match immediately for the title, the Intercontinental Championship with Owen Hart." So that's where we're at. He now has this contract. That's the contract Vin
Mhm.
Man has. And he says that Austin will be reinstated at Survivor Series. He just needs to sign. And Austin says, "I like how you make this look so damn easy. What you got to do is sign first because I don't trust you as far as I can throw you. And that's the bottom line. I don't ask too many people's opinion, but should I trust him or not?" And the crowd chants no, like they somehow knew that Vin Man was Vin Man. Okay. You want the match, you sign first, and then I'll sign, and not a second before. Vin Man's confused and pulls out his glasses to read the document like Austin switched them, which I laughed at. Austin laughs and says, "You don't trust me?" And McMahon signs. "Looks like we got a deal." And Austin starts to leave, and McMahon says, "No, we don't have a deal until you sign." Austin gets ready to sign. He signs on the turnbuckle. McMahon says, "It's official, you and Owen Hart in the ring." And then Austin says, "You're damn right, and I guess that leaves me with only one thing left to do." And Vin Man is rightfully concerned at this point
Yes.
because he's lingering and he has been stunnered already. He will be stunnered
Mhm.
many more times, but he doesn't know that yet. "All I'm telling you to do is shake my hand, son. Don't sit there and make a mess out of your pants. Just shake my damn hand and we got a deal." Vin Man doesn't want to and reluctantly does. Austin pulls him to scare Vin Man and says, "Just like that, I could have turned your lights off and you know that's the truth." And Austin goes to leave. Vin Man, though, he's a glutton for punishment, and he wants to clear one thing up. Last week, Austin said it was none of his business, but he still wants to know why Austin interfered in Owen and Farouk's match at Bad Blood and helped Owen win. Quote, see, what happened was Farouk was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I got no problem with him. I got no problem with the Nation of Domination. The bottom line is Steve Austin gets what Steve Austin wants. And I want Owen Hart's ass. I want the Intercontinental title, and I want it real fast. It's my business, and Stone Cold does what he wants when he wants. The Nation then comes out, and Farouk says, no, you crossed the line, across the railroad tracks is actually what he calls it. And you sacrificed your ass to me and the Nation, which I laughed at. I don't really know why. It didn't really quite make sense, but I enjoyed it.
Why not?
And then Austin says, basically, I don't understand what one damn word you said, but it sounded like you're a little pissed off. It sounds like you got something against Stone Cold Steve Austin for wrapping that damn belt around your head. So I'm telling you, all you got to do is bring your ass to the ring, or any one of you people up here, and I'll stomp a mud hole in you and walk you dry. You think you're so damn tough, all big and jacked up. It shouldn't be nothing but a thing for one of you guys to come up here and whip someone with a bad neck's ass. Rocky runs into the ring, right into a stunner, and Austin runs to the crowd as the Nation chases him off. It gets an A+. Austin is absolutely Austin. Like, there is no ifs, ands, or buts. He is the Austin we know and love. It's great. Rocky, not quite Rock yet, but he's getting close. He's getting real close. So there's a lot of exciting things going on. And I loved, like, Vin Man's a horrible person, but man was a great character. And his look of concern when he thinks he's about to get stunnered sold it perfectly. It's fantastic. I loved everything about this segment.
For better or for worse, Vince was good at what he did.
Yes.
So there's that. And I will say, I'm going to give it because we got a debut, and the debut was Rock getting stunnered for the first time, which becomes a much enjoyed thing because it becomes a running gag between The Rock and Austin that every time Rock gets stunned, he sells it even more absurdly than the last time. And I love every single moment of it. After that, we get another real moments in Road Warrior history. We get another one where Animal's talking about how they rode motorcycles into Wembley Stadium at SummerSlam 92. That's nice. I almost feel like they're going to lose. Like, man, I'm getting worried here with all these like moments. This is like a send-off. Ooh, it's like a wake. I'm worried for our Road Warriors. I'm getting a little nervous. After that, though, we get something that maybe you can explain this to me, Joseph, because there has to be a story here.
Okay.
What the hell is this thing with Sable?
Oh, it's just a laser tag commercial. That's all it is.
Yeah, but it's insane.
They're all insane. All of these commercials are insane.
This might be my first one.
I don't explain anything. It's like,
well,
these
I don't started while I was gone.
No, I don't take notes on this shit.
This is crazy.
You know me. We're back in action, sir. I don't take notes on this kind of shit.
It's absurd. There's she meets Dr. Madman, and he tells her that she's got a one last challenge, and it's Max Mini. And hilarity ensues.
That we are spending time on this.
And hilarity ensues because he's a little person. And what is going on? I watched this and I was just like, there has to be an explanation. This has to be something that Joseph can explain to me, because what am I watching?
You're looking for the deeper meaning in a laser tag commercial.
It's insane. I don't get it. Anyways, we get another Road Warrior moment. In between, heart, emotional, important Road Warrior moments, we get this random Sable laser tag commercial. But anyways, this one's just talking about the origins of the Road Warriors. I thought that was kind of cool. We get a little bit of a backstory. And then we go to backstage to actually talk to the Road Warriors, don't we, Joseph?
Yeah, Vin Man asks why Legion of Doom, would take this sort of a risk. And Animal says tonight is the night they find out if they still have what it takes. They don't want to live on yesteryear like Hulk Hogan or Randy Savage. Damn. Hawk says they want to find out if they are the king of the hill or if they're over the hill. And I got to say, not a fan of the cross promotional digs. You know me, I'm not a fan of that stuff. But in the context of what they're saying here, it's perfect. It actually works exactly how it should, because although I believe that Randy Savage can still go, I also believe Hulk Hogan cannot. He has exactly one more good match in him, and it happens in 2002. But, well, no, he's got two more, but the other one is because Shawn Michaels oversells, but that's a whole other thing. I love that match.
We love it. We love a good Shawn Michaels oversell.
Yes. Anyways, but Hulk Hogan has objectively been putting on bad matches. He just has. So there is some truth to this. Like, yeah, can we still do it? Or are we just, riding the coattails of our career, basically? And I like that. It actually is a legit thing. Literally today or yesterday, one of these two, AJ Styles announced that he is retiring. He is going to finish out 2026, and then he's hanging it up. Said he wants to do it while he could still go. And there is so much to be said about a wrestler who realizes that and does it and follows through with it. Not looking at you, Ric Flair. But like, it is really nice when a wrestler's just like, you know what? This I will never be able to be that ever again. So there's no point in me being out there. And that's very admirable. So I like this. I like this idea. I gave this whole thing an A.
Yeah, I liked AJ Styles where you're just like, I'm getting too old, man.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, I'm old, bro. Like, I thought that was good. It's nice when someone knows when to hang him up, I think I respect that. I respect that. There's a lot of people who, for ego or whatever, just go on way too long in wrestling in all industries, right? Hogan, obviously, is a prime example of that. So I always respect it when a wrestler knows it's time to hang it up, go out on their back, and give it to the next generation. So good job, AJ Styles. We like you. He's also a great wrestler. So
yeah. Oh, yeah. Phenomenal.
I was waiting for you to agree.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to agree. I was like, bro, don't agree? Anyways, let's
no.
After
one
that,
of my favorites,
time,
sure.
One of the greatest wrestlers of all time, let's talk about our next match, which features Ryan Christopher.
Yes.
And Tajiri.
There you go.
And I'm gonna say it right now. I'm gonna give away the finish of this match because I'm mad. Tajiri don't win. 5 minutes, 21 seconds. Come on.
Yes.
Let Tajiri have it.
Tajiri, also one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Love Tajiri. He looks great in this match, but like you said, there's no way he wins, and he doesn't. He loses on a roll-up where Christopher pulls tights, and then Tajiri kicks Christopher out of the ring, which that part I kind of liked. I gave this a D, not an F, because I like the Tajiri stuff. That's not great, though.
Yeah, after that, they're going after some guy called Phil Mushnick.
Yes.
Do you have anything on? Yeah,
I have a very quick thing on this. So Jim Cornette started this a few weeks ago, where he has something to say. And the first time he did, he wanted to talk about what the NWO is doing in WCW and how much it's killing the business. Which even though I was like, shouldn't happen, made a lot of good points. This, he makes a compelling argument, but why? Why does this need to happen? Phil Mushnick is a journalist, an actual journalist who does genuinely hate wrestling to its core. He has the ability that Vin Man is a horrible person. He knows this, to make compelling arguments, but they're very one-sided because, if your argument for against wrestling is Vin Man's a piece of shit, well, you're going to win every fucking argument that way because we all know he's a piece of shit. That's scratching the surface, my friend. What are you doing? So I actually got in an argument about this with a friend of mine at work because I was like, don't throw that at me. We all know that. Anyways.
Yeah.
what's the point of this? It doesn't serve a purpose. It's going to continue next week. It's going to continue for a few weeks for sure of Jim Cornette having something to say. And again, all his arguments are very interesting. I like Jim Cornette when he goes on rants. I really do. It just doesn't have a purpose for the show. It doesn't really work in the context of the show. So I gave this a D.
Yeah, well, because there's a couple of moments through. I did look into it a little bit, and apparently he wrote an article. This Musnick character wrote an article about Brian Pillman's death and kind of blaming it on wrestling, right? So we have this moment where Cornette kind of shoots on him. Vince at some point, I think during the last match, called the guy like a son of a bitch. Like, it's like, good Lord, okay. I was like, my God. Anyways, after that, we get a Karate Fighters commercial, which I know you have in your notes because you take just copious
Absolutely.
notes like I do.
Yes.
Survivor Series 97, sponsored by Milton Bradley Karate Fighters. Good to know. Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's like, thank God he's back. If I didn't know who sponsored Survivor Series, I wouldn't have it. I wouldn't have it. After that, though, we get Goldust versus Savio Vega for 4 minutes and 17 seconds.
The Marlena story is over because of Brian Pillman's death, and this match is a fine TV match with little direction because the whole storyline for Goldust came to a halt. They don't really know what to do with him yet. They will very soon, and it's bad. Anyways, Goldust knocks out Savio Vega with Marlena's purse, so Goldust is a heel now? Yes, just not quite, but yes. Again, and I can't emphasize this enough, it's bad. This gets a C. It's a fine TV match.
Yeah, after the match, though, Lawler opens the purse, which I kind of love. Looking in it, and
it's got a brick.
We got a brick. We got a brick in there. So I like that. You know, Joseph's always like, "Oh, Jerry Lawler contributes nothing. He sucks. I hate him. He never does anything great." Great segment from Jerry.
Exact words I said. Yes, he's been trying this all weekend, folks.
After that, we got some action figures by Jax. How do you feel about those? I know you're a collector.
Bone action WWF superstars from Jax. I despise these figures. Actually, this is my probably my least favorite of like the eras of like WWF figures. This is like top 2. This, and I don't like I think they're called retros or whatever, but the Hasbro action figures, the ones that are like, I've got a couple of them because like there are some of the people that I collect, but this is my least favorite of the Jax for sure. I love the Titantron Live line. That is like my favorite. And then when they get into the Restoration era, I love those. A lot of people don't. A lot of people actually really don't like Titantron Live, and they actually are flipped on the belief that Jack's bone crunching action is superior and the Titantron Live line is inferior. And I will say, I could spend another hour and 17 minutes at the point of this recording talking about how they're wrong and that it's Titantron Live that is way better. Anyways, that's enough about that.
Save it for the Patreon, where you get the buyer's guide to the action figure market. I will say though, I believe that I gifted you a bunch of figures, which I believe are bone crunching action, which you proceeded to pee all over and set on fire because that's how much you appreciate my gifts.
Yes, this is exactly what happened. As I was doing that, I said, Jerry Lawler has contributed nothing to the industry of wrestling.
Yes. It's really just quite ridiculous. Speaking of ridiculous, Triple H. Wait, I got this right? Do I have this one right? Yeah. Triple H versus the Patriot. Tell me.
Rick Rude throws coffee in the Patriot's eyes and hits him with the briefcase. HBK grabs a mic to announce Triple H's hard-fought victory. Slaughter comes out while they talk. He announces that since Patriot can't wrestle, he has a volunteer for Triple H. He orders them to show him some respect. HBK says, okay, they will. Suck it, and they laugh. The volunteer is Ahmed Johnson, but the Nation attacks Ahmed from behind. DX hightails it and watches from the stage with snacks again, which is, again, objectively funny.
Yes.
Legion of Doom help out Ahmed with Ken Shamrock. They clear the Nation, and Animal calls out the Godwins as we cut to commercial. And that is setting us up for our main event. This also unintentionally sets us up for one of our Survivor Series matches, the only one that actually is worth anything at Survivor Series of the tag team matches. I mean,
Oh, okay. Okay. I was like, because there's a big one. There's a big one at Survivor Series
no
that we got to
nonsense.
talk about.
Nothing happened in Survivor
Yeah.
Series.
Which is the Headbangers and the New Blackjacks versus
Yes.
the
Versus the New
New
Age Outlaws. Yeah.
and the Godwins.
Yes.
Yeah, that one. That's a big one. That's a big one. Speaking of the Godwins, Animal gets on the microphone and starts talking some smack before our match, and that leads us to our main event, which is the Legion of Doom versus the Godwins for the WWF Tag Team Championship titles for 11 minutes and 10 seconds. Tell me about it, Joseph.
Phineas and Uncle Cletus throw Animal shoulder first into the steel steps to injure him. Officials start to walk him back, and it's now a 2-on-1 match. And Henry slop drops Earl Hebner, and no one sees it. Animal runs back in one-armed to clear the Godwins, but Cletus helps again. He uses the horseshoe that he's been carrying for weeks, and he misses and hits Henry instead. Hawk hits the diving clothesline on Phineas, and LOD win and are the new tag team champions to close out the show. The Godwins
And they
are
survive.
pissed, and they attack Uncle Cletus, who they literally just got. So he's gone.
Yeah.
I liked it. Gave it a B. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, the Legion of Doom is back. They've survived. They're not going anywhere. So we got that. Which brings us to who won this week. I know what you're gonna say. Just say it.
It was WWF. The Nitro was dog shit.
See, I didn't think either was particularly good. I just think Raw had some very important storyline moments that really propelled it for me. The
I
DX
really enjoy
stuff,
like
very
all the
important.
DX stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
and all the Austin stuff. Like, I like a lot more what was going on Raw.
Yeah, it's the stories. I thought the card it kind of felt like it was whatever on both shows, but the stories are better on WWF. That's where the good stories are happening, which is crazy because I remembered it so much differently as a child. And Joseph, in forcing me to do this, has ruined my childhood. You son of a good night, everybody.
Hi guys.